where is the opportunity in real estate today? And the answer is right now, at this particular moment, let's take a look at the market. We got to understand the market first before we can understand where the opportunity is. Pretty much across the country, we're seeing prices go up at sky high crazy rates. Like we're basically back in the bubble that we just had about 10 years ago, which to me is psychotic. Like, wait a second. We just did this 10 years ago and we saw what happened, yet we're doing the same thing basically again. Now, it's maybe not quite as bad because we're not handing out mortgages like candy, like we did last time, but we're seeing prices increase. We're seeing availability of homes decrease in pretty much markets across the country, even right here in Buffalo, New York, which in the last bubble did not participate. And what I mean by that is we never really had a crazy skyrocket up, so we never had a down because there was no need to correct. Even Buffalo this time around is going, hey, we're in on it. Let's drive prices up like crazies, which means they have to come back down at some point. So the problem that most people money has become very available right now. Banks lending restrictions have come down, so they're lending out money, and so everyone's buying houses right now. We've actually taken a different approach and said, okay, if everyone's buying houses to live in right now, either one, I want to be selling houses to live in, which is a great time, but realistically, I have to factor in the fact that the market will come down at some point in time. You know, I've listened to a number of podcasts, people like, Greenspan and things like that, talking about, and this is all predictions, right? But maybe 18 months or so before we start to see that down cycle come back again. Who knows what the actual number is going to be, but it has to come back down because that's just the way the market works, right? And the best thing, in my opinion, right now, your best opportunity is not to be buying houses that you're going to be holding for a long time to resell to other people. It's instead to be buying houses that are cash flow positive, to rent them out and earn that monthly cash flow. And there's a lot of great markets for that. You've got markets like Dallas, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Memphis. These are all fantastic cities. And I'll add in there one of my favorite right here, Buffalo, New York. And the reason that all those markets are great is because in average or in general, all of these markets, the average mortgage is actually lower than the average rent for the same house. So it's cheaper to buy than it is to rent. But in most of these cities, these are working class, middle class kind of cities. And most of those folks either can't save up enough money to get a mortgage, have jobs that are very cyclical. So here in Buffalo, for example, there's a lot of construction type jobs and things like that, which is great in the summertime, but doesn't really do it in the wintertime. So, they kind of coast, a lot of them coast off of their money they made in the summertime to live through winter. So it doesn't enable them to save money. Or the mindset of a lot of these people is, I'd rather rent because I don't have to take care of it. Something breaks, any of this. It's not unknown expenses. Don't creep up on me. It's someone else's problem, not mine. And so, we're actually switching our model up a little bit, not say 100% this way, but slowly building more and more rental accumulation in, because what's going to happen, right, when a down market comes is lending restrictions tighten up, which means people can't get money, which means they can't buy houses. That means that they have to rent because someone has to live someplace. They can't not have a house. And we saw this during the last cycle. Rents went through the roof in many cities. Why? Because everyone's renting, no one can afford to buy, or very few people can afford to buy. And so I'm saying, okay, great. If I can buy rentals right now, and they're already cash flowing at today's market rates, at today's rental rates, if rents continue to go up like they should in a down cycle, I'll be even better then. And when I say cash flowing, I want to be absolutely clear. What I mean is after you pay any mortgage or lenders off, your insurance and your taxes, all of your fees, and set aside a little bit for repairs and maintenance and things like that, because I'm not advocating being a slumlord. Definitely don't do that, right? After we cover all those, I should be net positive cash, which means, if, for example, I have a house in Buffalo, actually in a small city called Lockport, New York, I pay $700 for my loan. And I think my taxes and insurance and all that comes out to about $1,100 or $1,200 is what it cost me to own that house all in. But my rent for that same house, the duplex, is $1,650 a month. So I'm net positive after I pay everything, several $100s per month in today's market. If rents continue to climb like they should, I'll be even better off at that point in time. And I know people are going to need a place to live because that's standard, that's life, right? So that's why I think the market opportunity right now is to buy rentals that can cash flow today because they will cash flow tomorrow in that market that's coming down as well.